Waffle Flower has these two stamp sets, and they are Pattern Play and Plaid Play, okay, in any case you're playing. And that's really a good thing to say, is that there are some stampers who love just to stamp and color in and they're kind of done. Others like to play with their stamps. They like to do different things. Well, this is definitely for the players out there. So I'm going to start with the Pattern Play one and just give you a few ideas. Now, Belinda did this for us, and I love the way it looks sheer. It looks like sheer ribbon, doesn't it? This is all flat. And so she has taken one of the links, and you can see there's dots that will look white or a color, and then there are dots that will have a solid backing. I guess that's how we have to talk about it. In this case, obviously, she used purple. So the narrow one with the dots, just evenly spaced, and then she went back with the solid dots and went over that, or in between them, and then did a wider one up and down. Very fun. And then she did this one. Now, this is a piece of paper that she stamped on, and then she cut it out. On the inside, she let one of the narrow pieces become the stems of those dazzle flowers in a little box made with one of the other stamps. So just really fun and easy to do, and that's the playful part of it. Now on this one, Belinda used a couple of colors and many of the stamps to create different corner treatments, and you can see how she played with that. So mixing colors, mixing the patterns, that's what this is all about. I do think her use of the script dazzles is brilliant. That's the 500 script dazzles. Oh, there isn't an inside to this card. Okay, so I'll just show that to you. Now, another way that you can do it is to stamp on the paper and then cut that out. Of course, the paper trimmer makes that so easy, and then weave them. And I have to tell you, this was Belinda's favorite technique. She just really loved doing the playing with it. So that was really, really fun. And again, more of these script dazzles right down there. Now, when we go into the Plaid Play, you might look at that and go, wait a minute, I don't see any plaids. Well, you're right. The idea of this one is to create your own plaids. And I did a little Googling and just went into plaids, and I just wanted to have some other ideas. So Belinda's given us a few, but I wanted a few more. So thin lines you can do like this, and you can see that there are several widths of lines here, as well as this angled line. And there's also that would be very stunning, so that would be fun. Don't forget, you can also use embossing powder with this. Now, this one has different things showing, but it also had some other plaids. So that kind of got us thinking. So let me show you some scraps of paper. So I started this, and I put the narrowest stamp and narrowest line, and then the thickest one, the next one, a little bit apart. They're about ½ an inch apart. And simply ink them up, and then went like this, re-inked, went like this, and then changed the color, went like this, and this, and this. So that gave me a really kind of nice plaid. Then I thought, well, let's add another color. So I went ahead and added another layer to this. So you can see on this one piece, I've got kind of a woven tattersall, that's what it's called according to Google, and then one that's more woven like this. So kind of like men's shirts, don't you think? In fact, this is, I didn't do a lot of re-inking, as you can tell. That really looks like a man's shirt to me. So very fun to do that in blues and browns, so you can play with the colors. Now this one I started, as you can see, red, white. Well, I was going to do red and teal, but it didn't pop enough, so I added the dark blue. And then I was messing around with this one and just added it right there. Now, it's not deeply stamped. Obviously, I was doing this by hand and not using a stamp platform. but I kind of like how that looks. So that's another idea. So you can stamp it on paper and then trim it down, add it to your finished goods. So what would you do with these? Well, you can certainly take the cutting dies and add them. Now this type by Creative Expressions doesn't have a shadow behind it, but I think it works really nicely even with that pattern behind it. Now again, as I told you, Belinda loved making her stamping onto paper, trimming that on, doing some weaving. So this is partially woven, kind of in this corner, and the rest is left open. And she's added her dazzles. And then on the inside, just a little corner treatment, which I think is really fun, of letting that same kind of plaid play out in the bottom corner. So whether you want to play with plaids or with patterns, Waffle Flowers got both of them for you.